afternoon, and welcome to a good, bad, and ugly of Ohio State's 34 to 16 win over Illinois. Do us a big favor, smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let us know what you think about what we think down in the comments section below. And of course, right below this video, a link to our Patreon. We have had tremendous growth. People are loving it. When anybody tries it out, they fall in love with it immediately. The extra content, everything we're doing over there. Um, and it's only $5. There's a free version, but you won't get a much. Get a taste of it. $5, and you're getting so much more than what we can even begin to try to offer here on YouTube. It's well worth it, everybody. Let's dive into it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. There was a lot of good in this game as I took about 30 minutes to digest everything at the end of the game, and I began to think about it, and I was looking at the stats and everything. And I go back to this. The beginning of the year, when we looked at the schedule and we looked at all the returning players and we looked at where we were going at on the road, we all said the game that worried us the most beyond the game at the end of November, which is always the game, is the trip to Champaign, Illinois, including the home game at the beginning of the season against Texas. Well, we're 6-0. We walked into Illinois, who had one really bad football game this year, and other than that, had won every single game they played in. And we come out with a 34 to 16 win. I think that's pretty good overall in the grand scheme of things, okay? In the grand scheme of things, that's a pretty good win. When we look back at the end of the season, and Illinois is 10-2, and they're in the debate for whether they should be in the college football playoff or not, this game's going to look really, really good. And oh, by the way, that is my prediction as well. I think Illinois might be able to go 10-2 this season, and their two losses might be against two of the better teams in the Big Ten. They might have an argument, guys. They might have an argument. The massive loss in Bloomington is going to hurt that argument, no doubt. But if Indiana goes on and finishes the season with a really good record and they're in the college football playoff, there's an argument there. But if it comes down to Indiana, Illinois, Indiana is going to get in. So that's my thoughts on that. Let's take a look at the good first, all right? This goal line defense, yes, they gave up a touchdown. They gave up a couple scores. We knew that was going to happen eventually. They finally broke in the second half, and they gave up a touchdown on their goal line stand. But my goodness gracious, the goal line defense that Matty P and this team have put together this season is so impressive. And it gave this offense the opportunities that they needed to kind of build that lead methodically in the first half and into the second half. So shout out to Matty P. Shout out to this defense. Several occasions they were making stops on the 1 yard line over and over and over again. They are fantastic at what they do in the goal line. So that is definitely something that came out of this game good. Yes, again, I know we gave up 16 points. I understand that. And I know that that's not the level that this defense wanted to be at. I feel like the last one would kind of throw it out. So I feel really, really good about that goal line defense still going into the second half of the season. Okay, we come out at halftime. Illinois drives down the field. They finally get in the end zone. I think at that point it made the game 20-10. And then our offense went on a massive, long, sustained touchdown scoring drive. The ability to answer in that situation was so big in getting the momentum back in this football game, and thus basically, for the most part, sealing the game from that point on. Huge, huge drive. And it almost went the length of the entire second quarter after Illinois scored. I think Illinois went like a 5-minute drive, somewhere around there, to open the second half, and then Ohio State does the exact same thing, but even longer. And so by the time Illinois gets the ball back at the end of the second quarter, they look up the clock and they're starting to think, okay, we're down 3 scores and we have a limited number of possessions left. So massive answer by the offense after the defense finally let a team score on them in the red zone, and it happened to be a running touchdown as well, which was the first time a team had scored a running touchdown. And again, I believe that came on a 4th and goal from the half-yard line, and it was a nice little tricky, little toss, and then another a lateral there. Um, very interesting play call, very interesting offensive play. I mean, they scanned over the sideline. Matty P went like, "How was I supposed to stop that one? That was pretty good." Tip of the hat over to the Illinois offensive coaching staff at that point. But yeah, huge answer by the offense, and then to get 3 turnovers. Now, some people are saying, oh man, this game was would have been a whole heck of a lot different, and we wouldn't got those 3 turnovers. Well, no, duh. Okay, and your point, like you're not going to credit the defense for getting those 3 turnovers. Did they not get credit for that? So coming into the game, when Illinois had 10 turnovers defensively, 9 of them were fumbles, forced fumbles, fumbles recoveries. Do they not get credit for those 10 turnovers as a defense? Why discredit the victory based off of something positive that the defense did? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to celebrate that. Awesome job defensively. They were tenacious. They were ball hawking defense. They did to Illinois what Illinois has been doing to their opponents coming into this football game, turning them over, giving their offense better field position to do something with the football, and thus winning football games in close situations. Our defense did the exact same thing to them that they were trying to do to us. And oh, by the way, great job on the offense on having ball security, which was a huge point and emphasis this entire week at practice for the Buckeyes offensively. So, all that being said, that was great. Awesome job on the defense. And so, yeah, I'll defense offense goes hand in hand here, but 2 for the defense in my opinion. Now, let's go to the bad. And I actually have quite a few here. Our red zone offense still looks anemic at times. It looks unimaginable. It looks, dare I say, predictable at times. We need to get some creativity in the red zone offense. Um, Come away with 3 points at the beginning of the game on that opening drive. You obviously want 7 there. I'm glad we took the points in that situation, but we got to do a better job of getting into the red zone and converting those red zone opportunities into touchdowns. We have, if we're going to be a national championship team, you have to do those things. Last year was they were really good in the red zone in scoring touchdowns. We need to get back to that with this offense. It comes with time, experience, and opportunity. Every time they're in the red zone, they're being given another opportunity to improve on the red zone offense. And I think it starts up front with the offensive line. You got to have a mentality, a nasty attitude that you're just going to win the line of scrimmage like you did at the end of the game on that last touchdown drive. That's ours. We're taking this. We're taking this game. It's a mentality. We need that at the beginning of the game, too. Um, the punting game. Partially on the offense, majority of what I'm about to say on the coaching staff. And I'm going to get into the specifics of this in the ugly. So hang tight, give me just a few minutes. But the punting game, I understand that the second time we got a delay of game, they wanted to just run the clock out. Why don't you snap that at 1 and not back yourself up even further when you're on your side of the field? That makes zero sense to me. That you would just take the delay of game and then give them an additional 5 yards. Um, that makes zero sense to me. Kick the ball at 1 and give them, make it a little bit harder for them. the punting game just feels average. And I know, and I'm going to do a video about this. I know that it's by design, and I'll explain that in a future video, but it it's not my cup of tea. I'll just leave it at that right now. It's not my cup of tea. We need to use special teams as a weapon, and it is not a weapon, and it is becoming increasingly more frustrating. We got a little banged up in this one. Jeremiah Smith gets hurt. Now he comes back into the game, scores a touchdown. All is right with the world. But dudes, you guys whiffed on the tackler. Two blockers out in front of him, and they didn't even block. No one blocked the corner who came up, or safety, whichever it was, who came up and drills Jeremiah in the lower body. Does a somersault, lands awkwardly on his chest neck area, and you're thinking, dude, this could have easily been avoided by one of you guys just actually hitting the kid and blocking for him. You've got Bo Jackson going out of the game early, getting his ankle taped, looking a little beat up there. You missed Lorenzo Styles Jr. in this game. He didn't play. Shout out to Kenyatta Jackson Jr., who came back and played in this game and played well, by the way. Good to see him back. But you missed him. Edric Houston didn't play in this game. We're starting to get a little banged up now. We've got a trip to Madison, Wisconsin before we get a week to rest. So another bye week next week, back-to-back roadies here. Very important for this football team to get healthy for the stretch run of the season as we now enter into the second part of the season. First team to score double digits on us this season. I'm not I'm not angry. I'm not mad. 16 points is 16 points. You hold a pretty good team. You hold a top 10 team, which I think Illinois is on the verge of a top 10 team. You hold that team to 16 points, you probably win 9 out of 10 times with the offense that we have, the offensive weapons. So, I'm not angry, I'm not mad. Again, go back to the good. Goal line stands early in the game, fantastic. 3 turnovers, fantastic. Um a little soft in our coverage at times. Middle of the field, very wide open at times for Altmaier. And shout out to Altmaier, he had a great game. He's a good quarterback. He's probably one of the more well, he's definitely one of the more experienced quarterbacks in the Big Ten. He had a decent game, but I feel like when we started to put pressure on him defensively, we did a better job. Um, and but we created turnovers. It's hard to nitpick, and this feels like nitpicking, saying, we gave up double digits. First time we gave up double digits all season, and we're in game number 6. So how bad really is that? Especially when you scored 34 and you win. But I threw it in the bad for the sake of the video. All right, let's go to the ugly. This drove me nuts. Into the first half. We stop them. We get the ball back. And it's like, okay, let's just run the clock out, go into halftime. And I didn't mind the first down play. Hey, screen past the outside, see if what happens. Maybe it's like, oh, we get something. Let's now push and try to get in field goal range. 3 yards, and you're like, okay, probably should run it here. Oh no, we're gonna pass and we're gonna stop the clock, and we're gonna have to punt and give Illinois the ball back with time. And they've got a great kicker, by the way, with time to get in field goal range, and we basically just had a possible 6-point swing go the other team's way. And then, oh, by the way, when we punt, when we're backed up in our own territory, again, another delay of game. And here's what's crazy. We weren't even letting the clock run out because it was an incomplete pass on third down. So the game clock wasn't running to begin with. So why did you get a delay of game? That was a terrible offensive set. So I blame the coaching staff for that, for second and third down on that drive. I didn't mind the first down call, second and third. It's like, okay, let's run the clock out. Let's go into halftime. Oh, no. No. And then you compound the mistake with a penalty on special teams. That was the first one of two, remember I said back in the bad. And the game clock wasn't even running. Just a really bad scenario there. You give Illinois the ball back, and if not for the receiver, and a great defensive play, but the receiver dropping that ball on the 30-yard line late in that game and then getting the sack on the very next play and then going into halftime and it's a wash, Illinois would have set themselves up to go into halftime with a field goal kick and a lot of momentum all of a sudden. So that was the ugly. I didn't like that whole thing. And Ryan Day preaches the importance of the middle eight, the final 4 minutes in the first half, the first 4 minutes in the second half. Illinois had the ball for the majority of that 8 minutes. And when you did get the ball, you literally just give it right back to them and you give them another opportunity to score in that middle eight. And so for someone who preaches that philosophy as much as Ryan Day does, I thought it was very interesting that they mishandled that completely in this game, in that situation right there. So I don't know, guys. You tell me what you think. That's kind of what I thought about that. That's my good, bad, and the ugly. Your Bible verse for Saturday today comes from Psalms 25, verse 2. Oh my God, I trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed. Let not mine enemies triumph over me. Don't feel shame. Don't apologize for who you are. You're a child of the King. Keep your head up high. We know how this whole thing all works out in the end. We've read the back of the book and we win. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. If you watch this here Saturday afternoon, tonight we're going to do a live watch on YouTube. A live watch on YouTube for the Scum game and USC. So it should be a lot of fun tonight doing that live watch. So join us tonight, watch the game, have some good times, good conversation in the chat, and root on the Trojans to take down our rivals from up north. Be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH. Sing Carmen High with all your heart. Till next time, you all know what to do. Go Bucks.